My name is Christopher Holmes. I am a project manager at Hostess. I manage the Cloud Coach aspects and then also the commercialization process. So we use Cloud Coach from start to finish. We use it from the developing of a product, the idea. That comes from our marketing department. They decide, okay, we want to make this item. Let's say it's Kaz bars. And they take that item and then they give it to research and development. They say, hey, we want this to happen. And here is what we want it to look like. This is what we want it to taste like. Goes from there, goes into our operations. Can we make that happen? Then it goes to our supply chain. Can they actually deliver on that item in the set time that we want to do it? And then it goes down into the sales organization. Can we actually sell the item? And that's all managed through Cloud Coach from start to finish. So we utilize MyDay on a daily basis now throughout all of our users that are in the system. So we probably have 45 people that go into the system and will be using MyDay on a daily basis to get their tasks done. I find it very easy to use, and the fact of it's basically one click. You click into it, you see what part of the task or what you have to do. You go and complete your task, you go in and then you hit complete and save and your task is done, which for a user to see, but then also from a PM aspect of it, we can see where the project's at, specifically how long somebody's been taking on their given task, which is super important for the time management aspect, that when we go into our regular commercialization meetings, we can say, hey, the task's been assigned to you for a week. What's happening? What do you need? What can we help you with? And that kind of drives the conversation for us. And that's all through MyDay and being able to see where things are at. That really is the most important part for Cloud Coach is, for us using Cloud Coach is how can we help the user? How can we help the person with the task on what they need to accomplish next? And if we didn't have the tool previously, that was through an Excel spreadsheet. And so same kind of process, but at the same time, we weren't able to see how long things were taking and how long things were sitting in the system because all it was an Excel document. We had notes from the previous meeting, but we didn't have any time when that was actually happening. So this kind of really gets down into it and we can really see where things are at. So we have 4 essential stage gates before we hit commercialization. So we have discovery, feasibility, phase 1, development phase 1, development phase 2. Each one of those gates, once you hit the end of that gate, it goes into a process review. So we track that through the system. So everybody has tasks within that gate or that process or that phase, I should say. And when we hit a phase, it'll either go to a gate review or we have a thing called PGR where it goes in and marketing essentially has to tell their story on why we should release this thing. But before that all has happened, we have tested the item, we have costed the item, we've done all those things ahead of getting to that point so that if any point along the way we're like, okay, this isn't gonna work, we have to cut it there and then we're not wasting all that time and money down the line for something that we know isn't gonna work because we've done all these other gates, processes to make sure that it has gotten to that point. So we have operations, we have supply chain, we have regulatory, finance, our data maintenance teams, those are all of our users within the system. And then we have our sales organization as well that has access to it so that they can kind of see the visibility of where we are at in the projects. Because we have so many people touching a project, we need one source, one truth that somebody can go to and see where all the data is at, right? Because you have regulatory, you have operations, you have supply chain, you have your marketing team that's probably submitted the project so they want to know where it's at. You have your data maintenance that's going to be going directly into SAP, which kind of stores the rest of our data. So everybody needs to see where this thing is at. So we need to spit out data that they can use so they know where the project's at. That also then leads to our leadership team being able to see the project where it's at. Now, when we have 250 projects going at the same time, there's a lot of information that they have to go through. So being able to have easy reports, which Cloud Coach is great at doing, is taking all that data, compiling them into reports so we can give it to end users so they can see it and see where we're at.